It's the Joe Padula Show, Clarksville's conversation.
Absolutely.
Should the teachers have the power to pick and choose which students they want and don't want in their classrooms? Let's debate this bill now on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, click that like, leave your comments, and hey, definitely help us out. We got that shadow ban. We need you to share this video on your timelines if you haven't already. Okay, so let's see. Anyone here a teacher?
Used to be.
Used to be. Okay, give us a little back history on your teaching.
I did it for 5 years back in Illinois.
And then why were you fired?
I wasn't fired.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I was actually. So the way it was I was on a
See, what
semester.
Was, yeah.
I was on a semester payroll, and then I tried to go back to get my full degree to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I'm what we call a substitute teacher, but I did it for 5 years. So
Yeah.
I was in the education field. I was also a coach. So, but there's few reasons why I decided not to continue with it, and some reasons why I'm like I could and could not. But
I just don't like unions telling me how to vote personally,
yes.
and that's part of the reason why I had to get out of the carpenters and the Teamsters unions. Well, here's the headline. Okay, Tennessee Senate passes a bill allowing teachers to permanently remove disruptive students. The Tennessee Senate, this was yesterday. They advanced this proposal that would allow teachers to remove the students from the classroom permanently, despite concerns that the bill could unfairly punish some vulnerable students. So supporters argue that the proposal is needed to assist teachers who are unable to do their job when faced with a disruptive, aggressive, or violent student. Why don't they just kick them out of the Zoom chat?
I think that's what this means. You're going to give him a block button.
The block button. So the Tennessee Senate, Republican dominant, by the way, they approved the bill on a 25-8 vote, with just 2 Republicans joining the chambers, 6 members of the Democratic caucus in opposition. Here's a quote by Republican Senator Joey Hensley, the bill sponsor, said, many times teachers try to discipline a child, send them to the principal sends them right back into the classroom. Okay. The House, which previously passed the legislation, will face another vote on an amendment on the bill before it can go before Governor Bill Lee. So it's known as the Teachers Discipline Act. The bill creates a uniform approach for teachers to request removal of a student who has consistently interrupted the classroom. Teachers must first follow a 6-step process, which includes documenting previous actions taken to address the student's behavior, offering counseling, and meeting with the student's parent or guardian before the school principal can step in with harsher actions, such as in-school suspension or relocating to another classroom. So there are a lot of steps you got to take before the actual teacher says, get rid of them. Now knowing what's in the bill, are you for or against this? What do you got, Ashley?
You do not want to ask me this because I went to private school.
And?
We got paddled, and we did not have no 6 steps.
So,
Yeah.
so I got the bill. I got the bill here. If you want to hear sort of the text
Sure.
of it,
Before
you weigh in, it says it starts off basically saying a teacher has the authority to remove from the teacher's class a student who repeatedly or substantially interferes with the teacher's ability to communicate effectively with the class, or with the ability of the student's classmates to learn, where the student's behavior is in violation of the student code of conduct, provided that the teacher has previously issued a disciplinary referral under such and such a law, or determines the student's behavior poses an immediate threat to the safety of the student's classmates or the teacher.
Okay.
So if a teacher can basically trigger this, and then it goes on for 6 pages on, and then they got to meet with the principal, and then they have to have this kind
All
of
the
family
steps,
meeting,
right?
and then we're going to have a new
Exactly.
board that's going to review if the child wants to contest it,
Right.
and then you got to have this, here's the procedure for where we're going to place the kid in a different place.
Where does the kid go?
But so as far as I can tell,
Home.
I assume every school has a policy on what to do if there's a kid in the corner that keeps jumping up and down, singing "Wrecking Ball" by Miley Cyrus every time you try to teach.
That's so 2013.
What this law would appear to say, here's how everybody needs to handle it in schools.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what this
Uniform
bill,
policy.
what Lawyer Wayne, LawyerWayne.com, he's a real lawyer, not a teacher lawyer though, but he does lawyer for teachers if you need him. But what you're saying here is this will make it across the board.
And
Here's the
CYA
process
for
by
the
which how you
teachers.
handle a disruptive
This
student.
is how you deal with it.
Yeah.
I was kind of against this, but hearing your explanation on it, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. I like local government. Maybe there are school districts that do have a better policy than that.
So for example, I don't
Yeah.
know who wrote this. Did a bunch of teachers get together and did
this
they
was,
consult with them? You know, they say
I don't know who wrote this with the
'cause this has,
with the senator.
For example, this process is triggered. The teacher has to either say, look, this has already happened once before, or it's a safety hazard, right? You know, the kid's throwing knives or something, right? Whereas maybe the other schools have a rule where you can just kick it out on the first offense. I don't know.
It's kind of a combination of both, I think, because back in my day of education, like you'd have that disruptive student that would constantly talk loud during a class when you're trying to get, you know, especially when you're administering like an exam, like a little pop quiz that the teacher, you know, has. They're like, you know, the person like is like making loud noise on their desk or like playing their music too loud. Like, is that a point to be like, hey, I'm going to document this, and if you keep doing that, you're out of my class. But the kid doesn't say a word. It's just noise and stuff like that. You know, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I'm the same way with you, Joe. Like, it's a double-edged sword with this bill.
Yeah.
Because, yes, it's a good thing because you can kind of wheeze out the kids that are disruptive.
But
you know,
where do they go?
But here's the thing: some
Well,
schools.
that's why it's got 6 pages.
Yeah, it's got 6 pages how you do
Like,
it.
do
So
you just have an entire classroom of?
Yeah,
of-
we had a
of-
portable building that was like ISS people for all day long. You just like that's where we went.
I want to hear more about the spankings in private
No,
school. To be
that-
honest,
You did not want to get a spanking. That's the whole thing.
did they pull the
acted
pants
out.
down?
They took you into the hallway.
Yeah.
And they opened all the classroom doors.
Yeah.
And everybody got to watch you get spanked. You didn't want to get spanked because it was embarrassing. So you
Was
didn't
this private
act
school
out.
college?
No.
Damn it. Bay, you got spanked in class, right?
I got spanked in middle school.
In middle school?
And yeah,
Was it in front of everybody?
Elementary. It didn't hurt.
Should they bring back
Yeah.
spankings?
She
though?
wasn't my daddy, so
Exactly.
That spanking wasn't nothing.
Like
I laughed.
it sounded loud, but they
Not-
couldn't like, you know.
See,
I laughed.
See, my problem is when I got spanked at school, the teacher kept on saying, "Who's your daddy?" Okay, and that was an issue. Right.
It's the Joe Padula Show. Bada bing. Clarksville's conversation.